Welcome, mindful parents. In this video, I'm going to be talking about roughhousing. So what on earth is roughhousing? A lot of you might be thinking, roughhousing is like wrestling, play fighting, play wrestling. It is not about being aggressive and being violent. It is playful wrestling, physical tackling and putting each other down. Play wrestling is a very important activity that you can actually do with your children every day or every week or whenever is needed. Roughhousing is something that children can connect with you and at the same time release all the anger, emotions, or entanglements of their thoughts throughout their day. I know some of you might be thinking that, oh no, we do not do play fight at home. We do not do wrestling. This is something that is a no in our house. Here's what I want you to know. Roughhousing, play fighting, and wrestling with your child is a great connection game. It is a time where your child is able to release all anger, frustration, anxiety, emotional entanglements that are going inside his brain or her brain. So giving your child that opportunity to play, to roughhouse with you is such a healer for your relationship and for everything that is going on with your child. I definitely use roughhousing in this house. There are so many times where I notice my child needs to release some energy, some anger, some frustration, and I simply have to tell him, how about we play some connection game together? And usually he chooses roughhousing. Roughhousing releases his stress, releases his anger, and it helps him a lot afterwards. However, there's a couple of things that you need to keep in mind when roughhousing. The first thing that you need to consider is providing a safe place for roughhousing. So we have specific areas in our house where we can roughhouse. Usually it's on our bed or on the floor with a lot of pillows, or I have mats where I put on the floor, and that is the only space we can use to roughhouse. The second most important thing to do is lay rules before you even start playing. We always start off with listing some of the rules that we cannot do while we are playing. For example, no hitting, no biting, no punching, no kicking. And we also end up with the note that if we see somebody is not enjoying it anymore, that they are hurt, that means we need to stop. The third thing that I do is I create it into a game. So for us, sometimes it could be that we are in a safety zone and there's lots of lava around us, and that they are trying to push me to fall onto the lava. And I have to push them back to make sure that I don't fall into the lava. So simply just be creative with your play. It doesn't have to be something from a book. It could be something from your mind. It is so important that if we see that our child is not enjoying it anymore, if we see that our child is hurt or we are getting hurt, that we stop the game. We need to teach them that this game is for us to enjoy it, to release energy, but it is not for us to be hurting each other and to be violent with each other. So we need to be clear about that, and we need to stop the game right away if we feel that it's becoming violent and hurtful. Tip number 4, and this is from the book called Playful Parenting. It says no tickling. What happens with tickling, that it can be fun, but sometimes children start to feel that they are confused, that they are under control, that they are unable to move. So they might be tickled and you are over them, holding them, and they are laughing, but at the same time they're unable to regulate that laughter. They're unable to control that laughter, and sometimes children just want it to stop. So during roughhousing, there is no tickling allowed. Tip number 5, which is also from the Playful Parenting book, is let your child win almost every single time. This is the time where the child wants to feel victory, wants to feel power. And when you look at your child and pretend that you have lost, that they have won, that they are so strong, the child feels empowered. And this is something that we want our child to feel. And it is a game. So make sure you don't take it personal. Make sure you don't take that time where you feel like you want to prove that you are definitely stronger than them. Well, guess what? We all know that you are definitely stronger than them, and they know it too. So put yourself on the side and focus on your child, not you. You are not the center of attention here. Your child is. You are doing this for your child, not for you. The last tip I have for you is to keep an eye on your child. Look for those opportunities for you to connect with your child physically. Touching them and wrestling with them really releases that energy that is inside them. And it is definitely a healer. Rough housing doesn't have to be half an hour. It could be literally 5 minutes. I usually put a timer on and I say, here you go, we have 5 minutes to roughhouse. And in this 5 minutes, we both push ourselves to the max and release all the energy. Just as a reminder, roughhousing and wrestling is not about being violent and hurtful. It's about playful parenting, playful fighting with your children and with your child. So it's not about who wins or who loses. It's not about you, it's about your child, and it's about releasing that energy, anger, frustration, and connecting with your child. I hope you found those tips helpful. Remember to create peace at home for a peaceful world.